second live yesterday. Well, technically today, because I went live like 12:40 and at night, of course. So technically today, but in the night, um, I went live for the first time ever, and it went interesting because I was basically only doing it to see how things work and how to do a thumbnail and all those stuff. But now I'm actually going to try and get some work done, which is this dungaree and a little fly. I was trying to kill this fly because it is currently extremely hot by us and it's South Africa, so the flies are annoying. But where was I? All right. This dungaree is inspired by cherry leaves or flowers, and you can see like the pink with the darker pink, of course. And it's not accurate to how they look, but I wanted to try something, and this is done with this paint. It is there's not a name specifically to what company it is, but it is pretty good, and it came like in a box with like neons and glow in the dark, which is amazing. But anyway, I should probably start getting into the painting part, which I'm going to use this. It is filled with dark brown, which it will dry darker than this. Hopefully it won't come out black, because if it does, that might be a problem. Now I need to figure out where I'm going to start. I'm going to start here. And of course, I'm going to try and keep my hand steady and try and not make too many mistakes. And also try and keep it, not too wobbly. And I think that is the right thickness, because I don't want to make it too thick, because otherwise it's going to take away from the flowers. And I do want the flowers to be the main focal point, at least. Mostly. Ooh, I do like when it comes over the dot. I'm gonna do that. Yeah. And that branch technically goes through the dot, but I'm perfectly okay. I'm perfectly okay with that. I am going to try and go live a bit more often now, just to get a feel of everything and to kind of get used to the like thing of entertaining or talking while I work. Because in videos, I usually do a voiceover, because when I work, I go quiet because I concentrate. So I usually don't say much as I'm painting or doing something. So this will probably, it'll take a while to get used to, but hopefully I can continue talking and not completely forget to at least say something now and again. And also, this might help with my not talking problem or vocalization or whatever, but English is not my first language. I think I said this in a last live as well. It is not my first language, and I do not speak it a lot, and I should probably get more practice with it, so that I don't struggle when I do have to speak English. Because for my work that I do Saturdays, I technically do need to speak English now and again with like customers and stuff, so I should really get more practice. And this, going live and stuff is actually a great way to practice it. And so far, loving how this looks. It is actually coming together pretty well. And I do hope that this color doesn't dry too dark, because so far I'm liking how it looks with this amount of brown and stuff. I might add a few loose branches here and there, like here. Of course, they don't have flowers on them, but I'll see if it looks okay. Yeah, I like that. I like the few loose branches. Of course, I'm not going to try and not go overboard with them, because otherwise, again, like I said, it'll take away from the flowers, and the flowers are supposed to be kind of like the main focal point. So I'm gonna try and not go overboard with that. And this is the last branch of this one, and then I get to move on to the next branch. I think that is the last branch, and I really like how this looks. It is actually really cute. In the beginning, with like the blue marks, which is this, it's just like charcoal that you can use to mark stuff, and it comes out pretty easily with a little bit of water and like friction and stuff. But it did look a little bit strange, and for a while I was like, nee, it doesn't look as I wanted it to look. But now that I've added the brown, I kind of like it. It's coming together and it looks better than I expected it to look, at least. I'm happy with this. I'm happy how it looks. I did regret adding the yellow, because like I said, it didn't look completely right. I wanted to add dark pink, but I thought that with the amount of size, because if you look, like, it's basically the tip of my finger, the size of the biggest flower that I'm making. So you can't add a lot of detail, and if you add too much detail, then it gets like muddy. And I'm being careful with that, because this is technically a product. Because I have my own small business that I, customize clothes with. So, or in whatever you would say. So I'm trying to be careful, because I do not want to fix this if I make a mistake. And for a while, I thought the yellow and how I made this look was a mistake, but this brown actually did wonders, and it is a delicious color. This looks like nice melted hot chocolate, or just like a dark chocolate, and it's making me hungry. Even though it is like 12 in the night again, I think with accuracy it would be. Wait, let me check quickly. Okay, it's not 12 yet, but it's like 11:30, so it is pretty late, but not as late as last night, at least. I might get a little bit of sleep in. But this is done, so I'm just gonna move on. The camera is going to shake a bit, sadly. And there is a piece up here, but I might just do this first. It's a little like branch and it's going to be quite quick, so I'm just gonna do that. And of course, like with these longer strokes, I am trying to keep the brown line the same thickness. Although, because it is a tree branch, technically it can be a bit wobbly, like realistically. But I don't know if it will look good, even if it's technically naturally correct for it to be a bit wobbly. But I'll see. Luckily, with this little bottle, it is very easy to keep things straight. Well, not straight, but the same thickness, you know? I think that is the last of the like this branch. Like I said, it's smaller, so it's a bit more faster. Now it's for this bigger one. I'm gonna try and move this without making it smudge. And of course the top one as well, which I try and move. Okay. I'm gonna have to move it just a bit more. The camera is going to shake a bit because with all honesty, I am okay. There it goes. For a second there, it said like orientation something something something. Like I said, I'm still figuring out everything, and my light setup is absolutely. It is in a really bad condition, and I'm struggling with wires. Okay, there you go. I got the wire finally. It is like under the table that I'm working on, and I have to move the dungaree. And to move the dungaree, I need to move the wire from the light, so everything is wobbling and everything is moving, and it is annoying. Note to self: move the light further away. Okay, I can probably like do that. Okay, it's in frame, mostly. I can probably just move it a bit more that way. There it goes. Okay, now it's mostly in frame. That's as much as I can do before it starts like pushing on the other thing. Maybe I can. I'm just gonna move you guys like a little bit around. I'm really sorry if this is okay. Okay, there it goes. Okay, that is a bit better at least. Maybe if I okay. That is sadly the best that I can do right now because the dungaree is pushing like in this corner is pushing against the thing that's keeping the camera up. So I am blaming you guys for this. Not really. I will never blame you guys. Okay, that is one of the longest branches done. And like you can see, it is quite quickly that I do this with this little bottle. And it is also kind of because I have worked with these for quite a while. And the Dungaree that I did in the last live with the stippling really made me very comfortable with these little bottles. I know them like I know the back of my hand. So I'm very used to using them, and I work a bit more comfortably than I used to in the beginning. Because in the beginning, I was very stiff with everything, with especially with the painting. Because I think before I started painting on the clothes and stuff, I think the last time I painted was about 2 years ago for an art competition, and I painted a stargazing flower. I think it's one of the shorts, maybe, or a video. I'm not quite sure. But that was, I think, the last time I actually painted with acrylic or any kind of paint that dries relatively quickly. And it has been really long. I really want to get into painting on a canvas or, well, just painting on something other than clothes. Because I do enjoy it. It is fun for me. The thing is, it just takes a lot of time, which I technically do not have right now because the my business and stuff is keeping me occupied enough to not be able to play around with different mediums and stuff right now. Especially with the amount of projects that I have laying around and absolutely not getting touched at all, I should not start new ones. I do have an idea for like canvases and stuff. I have the little small canvases that's like this big, like they can fit in my palm. They are adorable, and I want to use them to either do a collection of like plants or animals or just something that has a, how can I say this, like a theme basically. Rather than doing random stuff, I want to have a theme and it be, oh, what's the word? It's on the tip of my tongue. Consecutive? I'm not sure if that's the word. But you get what I mean. Like it's not the same thing, but kind of the same thing but different. Like different plants, for example, or different animals from different regions. I thought I might do like South African animals and plants and stuff that is in the area around me, like the protea is very common here, and I might try and paint that, like including other animals and stuff, because that could be fun, and it also would give me an opportunity to learn about the animals and the plants and stuff in the local area, and I would technically get to be a bit more familiar with everything because I'm not very familiar with plants. I wish I was. My dad is though. He's amazing with plants and animals and stuff. But I am not really that good with knowing which ones are which without a book or Google search. But I really want to be. I want to, if I look at a plant here, I want to, be able to say, oh, it's blah, 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 or, something like that. I want to be able to know the nature. I think that one's done. Yeah, I think that's done. I'm not going to add any more because otherwise I'm going to make a mistake and I'm going to have to fix it. I almost made a mistake right here. That little branch there, that was a brown mark that came from this thing's tip, I think. And I almost made a mistake. So I'm going to stop right there before I do make a mistake because it's going to be a bit hard to move this around because it keeps pushing and I do not want it to push like this because then it's going to smudge right there. So I'm going to leave it like that, and I will say thank you so much for being here and watching and joining me, and I will see you guys in the next video or live or short. And remember to take care of yourself, drink water, and goodbye, and sleep tight if it is late, or have a good day if it is morning.